Hello everyone, in this video we are going to discuss about the human digestive system. The human digestive system is the process of reducing food into smaller molecules and that can be absorbed into the body. This human digestive system consists of two major parts. First is a major organ and second is a accessory organ. Major organ includes mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine and large intestine. Accessory organ. There are three accessory organs. First is a liver, second is a gallbladder and third is a pancreas. First is a major organ. The mouth. The pH of mouth is a 7 and it is the first part of the digestive system and the entry point of the food. The structure in mouth that aids with the digestion. It includes teeth to crush or grind the food. Second is the salivary glands. Produces and secretes saliva in the oral cavity. And this saliva moistens the food and containing enzyme salivary amylase. And it begins digestion of starch into the smaller polysaccharide. The function of mouth is mechanical digestion and second is the increasing surface area for further chemical digestion. Then second organ is esophagus. It is a tube connecting the mouth to the stomach and running through the thoracic cavity. And the location of esophagus is behind the windpipe, means behind the trachea. This trachea has an epiglottis and this preventing food from entering the windpipe. And food travels down the esophagus through a series of involuntary rhythmic contraction is called as a peristalsis. And the function of esophagus is the lining of esophagus secretes the mucus. Second function is a lubricating and third is to support the movement of food. Second is a esophageal sphincter. Bolus reaches the stomach and must passes through the muscular ridges wall called as the esophageal sphincter or cardiac sphincter. And the function of esophageal sphincter is to prevent stomach acid from backflowing. Third organ is a stomach. Stomach is a J-shaped muscular organ and has inner folds and it increases surface area of the stomach. Function is stomach perform mechanical digestion. In stomach there are gastric juices are present. HCl, salt, enzymes, water and mucus. HCl helps to break down of food and kills bacteria that come along with the food. And the bolus is called as a chyme. Enzymes in a stomach. For maintaining acidic environment in a stomach, enzymes are important. First is the HCl secretion. HCl secretion kills any microbes that are found in the bolus or creating a pH of 2. Mucus prevent the stomach from digesting itself. Second is the pepsin secretion. It is responsible for initiating the breakdown of protein food and it hydrolyzes protein to yield polypeptide. pH is a 2 and the enzyme from a salivary gland stops breaking down of the carbohydrate. Digests itself. Why? There are three protective mechanisms. First, the stomach only secretes small amount of gastric juices until food is present. Second is the secretion of mucus coats the lining of the stomach, protecting it from the gastric juices. And the third mechanism is the digestive enzyme pepsin is secreted in an inactive protein called as a pepsinogen. And this pepsinogen is converted to pepsin in the increased presence. Fourth organ is a small intestine. It is responsible for the complete digestion of all the macromolecules and the absorption of their component molecule. For example, glucose, glycerol, fatty acid, amino acids and nucleotides. Second is the parts of the small intestine. The small intestine is made up of three parts. First is a duodenum. The first part is the duodenum. It is a U-shaped organ and it is approximately 30 centimeter in length. And this area complete most of the digestive processes. Enzymes are secreted into the duodenum from the pancreas and the gallbladder. And the duodenum is lined by folds of tissue called as a villi. And the villi are covered by the brush-like structure called as a microvilli. And these folds increases the surface area of small intestine and increases the rate of absorption. Second is a jejunum. The jejunum is approximately 2.5 meter long. Some digestion is completed here and it has a more villi and microvilli and its role is absorption of nutrients. Third is a ileum. The ileum is approximately 3 meter long and has a fewer villi and microvilli than the other two parts. Absorption also occurs here and it is percent of the digestion and absorption of food occurs in a small intestine. Second function is other 10% of the digestion takes place in the stomach and large intestine. And the main function of small intestine is absorption of nutrients and minerals from food. Second is the digestion of protein. Protein, peptides, and amino acids are acted upon by enzymes such as trypsin and chymotrypsin, and it is secreted by the pancreas. And this breaks down them enzymes like lipases secreted from the pancreas and act on fats and lipids in diet. Lipase can break them into these smaller parts that can be enter the intestinal villi for absorption. Fourth is the digestion of carbohydrate. Carbohydrates are broken down to simple sugar and monosaccharides. Monosaccharides like glucose. Pancreatic amylase breaks down some carbohydrate to oligosaccharide as well. Some carbohydrates and fiber passes undigested to the large intestine where they may, depending on their type, broken down by intestinal bacteria. Next part is absorption in the small intestine. The nutrients are absorbed by the inner walls of the small intestine into the bloodstream. The nutrients are absorbed by processes like simple or passive diffusion or facilitated diffusion or primary active transport or secondary active transports. For transport, nutrients commonly rely upon lipids which undergo passive or simple diffusion. Second is the short chain fatty acids. Short chain fatty acid which undergoes the diffusion. Third is the amino acids for the primary active transport. Fifth is the glucose to undergo secondary active transport. And last is the fructose which undergo facilitated diffusion. Intestine. Other absorbed substances in the small intestine include water, which is 80% absorbed by the small intestine and 10% by the large intestine, and remaining 10% excreted in the feces. Second is the electrolytes, and third is the vitamins and minerals. The next organ is the large intestine. The large intestine is composed of different parts. First is the cecum. Second is the colon. The colon consists of 4 parts. First is the ascending colon. Second is the transverse colon. third is a descending colon, or fourth is a sigmoid colon, and third part is a rectum. First part is a cecum. It is the first section of large intestine, and it looks like a pouch, and it is a 2 inches long. The role of cecum is taking in digested liquid from the ileum and passes it to the colon. Second part of large intestine is colon. It is a major section of large intestine, and the function of colon is uh, the principal place for water reabsorption, and it absorbs salt when needed. The components of colon. The colon consists of 4 parts. First is a ascending colon, second is a transverse colon, third is a descending colon, and fourth is a sigmoid colon. The components of colon. First component is ascending colon. It is the first portion of the colon, and it pushes any undigested debris up from the cecum and just under the right. Second is a transverse colon. It is the second portion of colon, and food traveling from left to right just under ending colon. It is the third portion of colon, and it pushes uh, containers from down to the lower left side of the abdomen. Fourth is a sigmoid colon. It is the final or last part of the colon. It is a H-shaped length of the colon, and it empties into the rectum. Last part is the rectum. It is the final section of large intestine, and it measures from 1 to 6 inches long. Leftover waste collects here, and it expanding the rectum and emptied through the of large intestine. First function is absorption of water. It is the one of the primary function is the absorption of water. It prepares the waste as a solid stool that will be expelled from the body. Second function is absorption of vitamins. Beneficial bacteria then role in breaking down undigested sugars and fibers into the fatty acid. Produce many vitamins, of which are vitamin K and biotin, that are absorbed back into the body. Third function is reduces acidity. The fatty acid causes acidic environment. The uh, the large intestine produces alkaline solution, which reduces the acidity and balance the pH in the large intestine. Fourth function is a protection from the infection. The mucous lining of the large intestine acts as a protective layer, prevents harmful bacteria from being antibodies. It also produces antibodies, and it helps to boost the immunity. And it is believed that the appendix may have been major producer of antibodies at some point in the evolutionary processes. Next part is the accessory organ. The accessory organ supports the digestive system, but are not part of the digestive tract. These organs secretes fluid in the digestive tract and are connected by the ducts. The accessory organ includes liver, gallbladder, and pancreas. First is the liver. It is the largest organ, and liver produces bile, and this bile is greenish yellow pigment, and it is made up of bile pigment and bile salt, and it breaks down old red blood cells. Second accessory organ is gallbladder. It is the storage sac, and the bile is secreted into it. and the bile is stored here, and it works by food containing fat enters the digestive tract, and the salts are secreted into the small intestine to digest the fat, and this bile emulsifies fats into emulsifies fats uh, in the part of digested food, and thereby assisting their absorption. Is pancreas. The pancreas secretes a number of different enzymes into the small intestine, and the major role is to digest carbohydrate and lipids and proteins completely, and it also secretes bicarbonate ion, and which play important role in important role to neutralize the hydrochloric acid from the stomach. Stomach change the pH of the small intestine uh, to a pH of the 8, and this process will secrete about 10 liters of pancreatic fluids per day.